Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this evening. What a beautiful room this is. Can you give yourself a round of applause? Thank you so much. We are so honored that you're here tonight to support Boston Arts Academy. There are so many people we'd like to thank just off the top. I want to recognize the Boston Arts Academy Board of Trustees who are here this evening. I want to recognize representatives from the Boston Public Schools who are here this evening. I want to recognize many founding faculty who are here this evening and founding co-headmaster, Ms. Carmen Torres. Carmen gets a round of applause. And I want to recognize people from the city of Boston who are working on the building of our amazing new facility in the back corner. If you haven't seen that, we really appreciate all the city of Boston is doing to make our dreams come true.
And so she is Ann Clark, and I'm Danella Clark, and I am the other half of what we affectionately call ourselves the Clark Sisters. And so I too want to say this is a beautiful room, and to thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. I want to start by recognizing the Boston Arts Academy Foundation Board of Directors. I know some of them are here in the room. I want to ask them to wave. I also want to recognize the group that really led this event in particular, and that's the Boston Arts Academy Foundation Advisory Council under the tremendous leadership of Pam Alara, who I see right there, and Tony James, and Beata, and all the members of the Advisory Council. I would just ask you to wave and say thank you. We salute you. Thank you for ensuring the success of this event. I know that our team has a small token of appreciation for each and every one of you. I certainly want to recognize our illustrious Mayor, Mayor Walsh, who you'll hear from shortly. The Honorable Mayor Mike Walsh is here. City Council President, we are in her neighborhood. Madam President Kim Janey is here. I saw Cara Elliott Ortega from the Mayor's office, and certainly we want to offer special thanks. You'll hear from her shortly of Dr. Valerie Roberson, President of Roxbury Community College. Valerie, thank you so much. You know, I was sharing with her that for many years we held this event at the Strand. But because of the champion reception, this is our 4th champion reception, and we're thrilled that our inaugural champion, Mayor Walsh, was our champion in 2017, and our current champion, who I like to call the original Floma, First Lady of Massachusetts, Diane Patrick, is our 2020 champion. We're so excited. Valerie, Ann and I want you to know that your staff has been tremendous. Such an honor and a pleasure to work with. We love this space. We love being here. The hospitality has been absolutely amazing. So thank you so, so much. And before I hand the mic over, there is a group of individuals that I just have to thank. You know, none of us do anything by ourselves. Ann and I are the leaders, and we're certainly up front and ever present. But it takes a team to make the dream work, and I want to applaud and salute the Boston Arts Academy Foundation staff, and in particular, she's somewhere running around here. Oh, there she is. Susan Urbino, come up here. This is her first big BAA Foundation event, and I am so grateful to have her on our team. Not only is she our Director of Corporate Relations and Events, she leads with such incredible passion and urgency. She is also a BAA alumni parent, so she gets it. Thank you so much. Did you miss anyone on your side? Yeah, I think. How about our arts dean and the BAA staff? Yes.
So, where are you? Okay. Mr. Sutton, would you come up here, please? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ann Clark. I'm the principal of Boston Arts Academy, but the vision, the drive, the amazing energy behind the incredible performance you're about to see is all the work of this amazing individual. This is our arts team. And I want to thank him, and I want to thank all the teachers who are in the room, and our amazing students who are performing for you. You are going to see an incredibly inspiring performance, but I get to be inspired every day, so I'm really thrilled. Thank you.
And before I call up Dr. Roberson, I want to thank each and every one of you who purchased a ticket. I want to particularly thank our lead sponsors who gave 5-figure gifts, Tony James and Mass General Hospital. Thank you so much, Tony. I want to thank our first sponsor to this year's event, Pamela. I want to recognize and tell you, First Lady, that Robert Kraft, who could not be here, sent us a very nice check in your honor, so we certainly want to thank him. I think I saw my twin walk in, Sabrina Williams and Rob Williams. Thank you so much for your generous support. And if I've missed anyone, they're in the program book. Charge it to my head and not to my heart. And I want to also thank, as I'm talking about money, you'll hear from our campaign co-chair, who's our closer, Sean Curran. And I said to him, I said, Sean, this is how far we are off on the goal. And he said, you're making it up, because that's what you do, because you always want to overraise. But Sean, I want to tell you, she's somewhere here in the room. Every year at this event, she surprises me with a very nice donation. And Pam Reeve, I just handed off to Nancy. I thought it was going to be $1,000, but when I turned it over, I was like, whoo. So Sean, the number has gotten a little lighter thanks to Pam Reeve, but we're not there yet. And with that, President Roberson, please come in and give us an official welcome. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much. Indeed, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Roxbury Community College. And I want you to know that this is your college. Our middle name is community, and that's what we are here for. And anytime that we have an opportunity to work in partnership with other community groups, especially one that fits so closely with our mission, like the Boston Arts Academy, we are just happy to welcome you here, and we want you to have a great event. I also want to say that we are especially pleased to welcome you into our Media Arts Center because it was recently renovated, as is this space that you're in this evening. And these new improved spaces, again, are resources for the community, so it's important for you to know that they're here and that we are here to help you. I want to offer my congratulations to Diane Patrick. We're so proud of you. Thank you for all that you've done for the city and for our state. And to all of you, again, welcome and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, we are so grateful to be in this amazing space. Thank you. So again, my name is Ann Clark. I'm the headmaster principal of Boston Arts Academy. This is my 8th year as principal, but I was a founding teacher, so it's my 22nd year with the school. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm wondering how many people in the room, this is your first Boston Arts Academy event. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'd just like to give a short introduction to the school. Of course, the real introduction to the school is the amazing work of the teachers and students that you will see soon. But just to give you some context for these amazing young people. So Boston Arts Academy is Boston's only public high school for the visual and performing arts, the only one. And we are proud to be, as I said, 22 years old. We are proud to be the product of an amazing collaboration between the pro arts colleges and the city of Boston, who recognized, I would say 22, but they really recognized it 25 years ago, but it took a while to open the school. They recognized a crucial fact, that in the city of Boston, talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And there are incredibly gifted, creative, inventive, inspiring youth in the city of Boston who don't have that opportunity. And that's what Boston Arts Academy is all about. It's about creating a pathway to the arts. It's about creating a pathway to college and career. But it's also about helping young people develop themselves as their true selves, as their artistic selves, to connect to that deepest part of the humanities that we all know the arts bring to us every day in every community. And we all know that in this time, we need art, and we need artists, and we need committed young people more than ever. So yes, a round of applause for that. So your connection and your investment in Boston Arts Academy is an investment in our teachers, it's an investment in our students, but it's really an investment in all of us, in our community, and the next generation of artists in the city of Boston and beyond. 22 years later, we are proud to have over 1,600 graduates who are working as artists all over the world. I look forward to the Grammys every year. I'm sure you all do. I watch the Grammys like many of us did in this room, but I watch because I'm looking for our alums. I watch because I see Lizzo in the opening act and I see two of our alums dancing on stage. Yes, yes. We have alums dancing with Alvin Ailey. We have alums performing music all over the world. But we also have alums who are art teachers in the Boston Public Schools, who are community art leaders, who are working every day to enrich the fabric of our great city. Many of them as artists, but many of them in other fields, nurses, social workers, architects, lawyers, and all of them, when you talk to our alums, will say that the artistic education that they got at Boston Arts Academy enriched their lives beyond high school, and that's what we're all about. So we are so proud to be here to share with you a little taste of the amazing work our students do every day. We are so proud to honor Diane Patrick, a woman who believes in education, who believes in young people, who believes in the promise and the possibility of our future. Thank you. And I want to also thank the Boston Arts Academy Foundation for their tireless work to make it all possible, to literally keep the arts in Boston Arts Academy. We thank you, all of you, for investing in our future. And particularly, I want to thank, as we say, the other Clark sister, the president of the Boston Arts Academy Foundation, Danella Clark.
Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. So it is my distinct honor to make another introduction, but I want to share with you, because I know President Roberson would appreciate this, and I know she may be a little like, don't do that, but she just walked into the room. So we are on the campus of Roxbury Community College, and we at Boston Arts Academy Foundation are incredibly proud and honored that the vice chair of our board is Donna Harris Lewis, who is the wife of Reggie Lewis, and the Reggie is across the street. And this has been a very tough week for those of us who love basketball, who are parents, who are families, and about 3 hours ago, as I was getting ready, Donna called me, and she said, I'm coming tonight, even though it's been a tough and a sad week, because she, like Vanessa Bryant, knows all too well losing a husband who's an icon and a legend. And the last time I was at Roxbury Community College, it was because Dr. Roberson was giving Donna an award, the You Rock Award, and she definitely rocks. And being the woman that she is, she's caring for an aunt in Michigan, and she said, Danella, will you go and accept the award on my behalf? And I was so humbled and so honored. So she's somewhere in the back of the room, but can we just hear it for Donna Harris Lewis, the vice chair of our board, a community champion and icon. Donna, thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. And I also want to quickly recognize Valerie Becker, who chairs our alumni network, She's somewhere here in the room. Valerie, thank you so much. Now, with that, I would love to introduce all of you to a man who needs no introduction. He is my friend. He is my mayor. I always post when I post my mayor. I believe that he has done an incredible job. I'm not supposed to say this, but you know, I make my own rules. I certainly think that he has a lot more work to be done. He has done an incredible job. He has been a champion for our school. I tell people all the time, a building is just a building. As the mayor says, it's the people and the programs that make the building work. I loved our former mayor, but this mayor has been everywhere. You know, I was with, last night, Dr. Motley had the Urban League, and Superintendent, our BPS Superintendent, Brenda Casalius, was there, and she was raving about this new $100 million investment that the mayor has made for Boston Public Schools. Please give a warm round of applause and a welcome. I would even say stand on your feet, because this man is getting for Mayor Marty Walsh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane. Don't stand up, sit down. Oh my God. I have to leave, me and Danelle have to leave in a few minutes because I have another event she has to introduce me at, so I apologize for that. And I'm going to take it with me all weekend long. We have about 5 tomorrow and a couple on Sunday. To Danella, honestly, just, I don't have to say anything. I mean, if you're in this room and you raise your hand for the first time, which you did, you have no idea that she has your name down on the list. So she's going to hit you up before you leave tonight, just for the record. But I want to thank you in the foundation for the incredible work you do. To Ann, the leadership of the school, and the teachers, and everyone at the school. You guys are amazing. And I said it to a bunch of different people. If you hadn't had a chance to see this school, go to the school. They're in a temporary spot right now. They're building the new one, as you can see down the back. But what goes on in this school is just simply amazing. So thank you, Ann, for everything you do in the school. To Kim Janey, the president of the Boston City Council, who's a big champion for our schools as well. Since her time in the council in the last couple of years, you know, working to make sure we put more equity into our schools, and not just money into the schools, but how do we make a difference in our schools. And I know she's one of the first people that sat down with Brenda Casilius, the new superintendent, to talk about how do we actually close achievement gaps. We talk about it for a long time. How do we actually close achievement gaps? How do we make sure we return equity to our schools? How do we make sure that we treat mental health and trauma in our schools, and all that our kids are dealing with? So thank you, Madam President, for everything you do. The president of Roxbury Community College, Valerie, thank you. I know you're here. Again, Valerie's an amazing leader in the city. She's right here, and in this space here, I've had a chance to come through this space when there's young people in this space, and working on graduation rates. And we have a program with Roxbury Community College to get free community college for our kids. And we started the program 3 years ago with 52 kids, I think it was, and now we're up to 400 and something kids that are in our program graduating within a 3-year period, which is our goal. 72% of our kids were making an impact working together, so thank you. To Donna Harris-Lewis, thank you very much as well for being here today. You're amazing, you're awesome, and I know this is a tough week for all of us, and for you in particular, I'm sure, so thank you for being what you do for the school here as well. In the city of Boston, not just the school. I'm almost done. Thank you, everybody. The Charlie Brown Band from Boston Arts Academy. Thank you, Charlie Brown Band. And to the First Lady of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, who I'm going to talk about in a minute, Diane Patrick, thank you for allowing us to honor you tonight. I'm just going to not go too long, but I just want to really quickly talk about the foundation. It's about investing in our young people. It's about investing in public education. It's about continuing the incredible tradition and what's happening at the Boston Arts Academy. You know, we don't often read in the paper good things about our schools or good things about education, but yet this foundation and what we're doing here in the school, what the leaders and the teachers are doing in the school and the foundation is just absolutely amazing. I told a story a second ago. I forget who I was talking to, but my first visit to the school as mayor of the city of Boston, I was walking through and I saw a young woman. She was in the school. I think she was either a freshman or a sophomore. And I was talking to her and I was just asking her about the school. And I said, where did you come before you go in here? And she said, I went to Boston Latin. And I went, really? And she said, yes. And I was kind of taken back. I'm like, Why'd you leave Latin? She goes, it wasn't for me. So when you think about our schools, and no offense to Boston Latin, John D. O'Brien, or Latin Academy, there's other schools in the city of Boston. And this school here, Ian alluded to it, it's an inspiring school for our young people. So for every dollar, every bit of investment you make here, you're literally changing the lives of our young people. The other day I was in my office and we had Cara Elliott Ortega, our Arts and Culture Commissioners here as well, Chief, I should say, of Arts and Culture. And there were 5 people around the table. And one of the young people at the table was talking about how they're up for, their organization's up for a Grammy. And I had the same feeling Ian did. I thought to myself, we're producing amazing talents here in the city of Boston. We don't think about that. I watched most of the Grammys the other night, and we kind of look at the big acts, and we think of all the big acts, but we don't understand those big acts are successful because of the supporting cast around them. And we have some big acts in Boston as well that take the front center stage. If those young people didn't have an opportunity to come to a school like this, in this case, to this school, they wouldn't be exposed to those opportunities. We have to continue to make sure that young people are exposed to these opportunities. We're building a brand new school, as you know. The Red Sox and the Foundation Live Nation donated $500,000 for renovation because of where they are. We're going to continue to reach out to make sure that our young people, not just we can brag about having the first arts academy or the best arts academy in the country, our kids are going to go into the best building in the history of the country. Think about that for a minute. It's not done, it just doesn't happen. It takes a lot of work and a lot of resource and a lot of investment. And I want to, again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here tonight, but I want to thank you for being part of that investment. I know Sean's going to come up here in a little while and probably put a stronger ask on people. But the best part of my job and the most enjoyable part of my job is seeing young people in the city of Boston. And when people ask me about what I want my legacy to be, I don't think about legacy, quite honestly. But I want to be able to sit down and watch TV and see who's on TV, and when I know that they have a connection to our schools, and in this particular case, the Boston Arts Academy, it gets me really excited. And we have an opportunity with the investments that we're making in the school building and with the foundation to really reach out and make more of an investment in young people's lives. Our young people need those opportunities. I'm here today as mayor because I had a strong family unit at home. Wasn't a great student, lost my way along the way, found my way back, but I had that support. A lot of our kids don't have that. They have the school. They have the teachers in this school. They have the people who care about them. They have you in this room tonight. So I want to thank you for being here tonight. The person that we're honoring, the BAA Foundation Champion Recognition Award. I said it wrong. The BAA Foundation Champion Award recognizes individuals who embody the school's commitment to the arts, scholarship, and citizenship. I had a chance to meet Diane Patrick back when Governor Patrick was elected and sworn in. And we had a relationship, how you doing, what's going on, good, back and forth. But I had an opportunity when I became the mayor. I watched Diane Patrick one night sit at a table, and I was kind of paying attention. She was talking to Laurie, my Laurie, about the challenges of the job and the expectations of the job. And she said to Laurie, if you ever need me for anything, I'll be there for you. And as we left that night and we went home, Laurie talked about Diane Patrick, who again, she knew the same way I did. She knew she was the First Lady of the Commonwealth and seen her at a couple of events, but never had a chance one-on-one to talk about her. That impact you made in Laurie's life is the impact you made in tens of thousands of people's lives in your time as First Lady of the Commonwealth, even before that and certainly after that. This award is presented to Diane for a whole bunch of different reasons. It could be because she's a lawyer. Maybe not. It could be because she's a teacher. Most importantly, a mother. An active community member, the First Lady of Massachusetts. The First Lady of Massachusetts who dedicated her life, even before that, to helping people that were struggling. Diane spent her early childhood in Brooklyn with her extended family. Some of this I didn't know. Her grandfather was the first African American elected to public office in Brooklyn. Groundbreaking. He co-authored the nation's first law prohibiting discrimination in public housing. That law eventually made its way across the state line to Boston, Massachusetts, to our housing authority. Diane attended the New York City public schools, where she certainly understands the importance of public education and understanding that the impact that public education has. Earned a degree in early childhood education from Queens College. Then went on to teach in those same New York public schools that she went to school. Went to earn her law degree from Loyola and practiced law all over the country. And I know her law, what she did for legal work. I also know the pro bono work that Diane Patrick has done and continues to do today. She fought fiercely for dignity in the workplace, for working people. She fought bravely to put an end to domestic violence. And as the First Lady of Massachusetts, she worked tirelessly on behalf of families all across the Commonwealth that didn't have a champion to fight for them. Diane Patrick's career has spanned decades, and her impact has been felt not just in the streets of Boston and the streets of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, but has been felt nationwide from coast to coast. Throughout it all, she has always remained focused on the health and well-being of our young people. She said to me, you were the one I was talking to, when you said the best part of your day is when you get a chance to talk to young people. She understands what makes a community, and in particular a school community, strong. She also understands the importance of and the value of having an arts education. She knows that everything that we want to achieve in this country has to start with our young people. Everything that we want to achieve in our country starts with our young people. That is so important. She has been a huge supporter of the Boston Arts Academy. You have been a role model to many, a friend to all. There's a young woman who I had the incredible opportunity to hire in my communications office. Her name is Gabrielle Farrell. And Gabrielle's mentor is Diane Patrick. And when she came to work for me, Gabby, she was young and she was great and we love her. And she said to me at one point about a year and a half ago, she said, I want to do something, I want to try this exciting thing I want to try. I said, well, go for it, Gabrielle. And there's an article in the paper the other day in a magazine. Gabrielle Farrell is Elizabeth Warren's traveling spokesperson on the campaign. The impact that you have made in so many young people's lives, and young women's lives in particular, has been absolutely incredible. You deserve this recognition for just about every single thing I read, but in particular, I think the most important thing, having an impact and making an impact in young people's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the 2020 Champion Award, Diane Patrick.
So it says, Boston Arts Academy 2020 Champion Award presented to Diane B. Patrick, Esquire, in appreciation of your outstanding leadership and dedicated service to the children of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We honor you with the BAA Foundation 2020 Champion Award for your tireless efforts to improve access to arts education and equity for all children. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Oh, Mayor, I know you have to leave, but
I'm gonna wait for you to finish.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be a long time. Thank you, Mayor Walsh, my mayor, and I'm so honored to be here with you tonight with Dr. Roberson. I don't know where she went, and you know, you mentioned a lot of public officials, and I am grateful for their service and for their being here too. There's one that you didn't mention, is Carmen Ortiz, who's sitting over there. was our former U.S. attorney appointed by President Obama and served this Commonwealth well. So I just wanted to make sure she was recognized as well. And thank you, Danella and Anne and the staff and the faculty and the board members of Boston Arts Academy for inviting me here tonight. I'm really incredibly humbled to receive this honor, especially on an evening where you are also recognizing and honoring Aretha Franklin. I mean, who would ever allow themselves to think that they would be recognized at the same time as the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin? But that's not the only reason I'm thrilled to be here tonight. Tonight brings me back to my own roots and the continuous reminder of how critically important it is that we support our schools and our teachers so that they, in turn, can support our children and their families and their communities. And to support our children in whatever place they are, whatever package they come in, wherever we find them. You know, as the mayor said, I was born in Brooklyn. I went to public schools all of my life. I even went to public college, City University of New York, Queens College. My mother was a public school teacher until she retired. And my degree was in education, which allowed me to pursue my career of being a teacher. And indeed, I became a public school teacher in the New York City Board of Education school system. While a teacher, I saw how great schools and great teachers can lead and inspire young people to dream big and to work hard and to pursue those goals, whatever those dreams and whatever those goals are. I saw how great schools and teachers can help a child soar. And all of you here, I assume, know how wonderful it is to see a child soar. It's magical. But I also saw how schools can fail children. I saw how they fail children and therefore their families and their communities. As a new teacher in New York City, I was assigned to classrooms with the worst performing students in the worst performing schools in the system. It's the way New York City worked at that time. That was a long time ago. But kids were classified according to their what was assessed as their intellectual abilities and their motivation. And they were graded in classes from grade, let's say, 2-1 to 2-12, with 2-1 being the smartest, most motivated kids, and 2-12 being the kids who were tracked into losing educational opportunities. And teachers like me were assigned to schools based on our seniority. So the least experienced teachers had the hardest assignments with the least amount of support. I have to tell you, that's a formula for failure if ever I saw one. In this setting, in the worst performing schools, in the worst performing class, I taught 215. Imagine that. There were 15 second grade classrooms. As I said, they went from the smartest, most motivated to those that everybody had given up on. My first assignment was class 215. In that setting, I saw teachers who often themselves felt unseen and unsupported. I saw them fail to see and support the children that they were assigned to serve. I want to tell you just a very quick story. I hope it's quick, but in that setting, I had grade 215. Most of those kids in that classroom had been left back once. There was a boy in the classroom named Tyrone who had been left back twice. So he was probably 8, I mean, he was probably 10, but in a second grade class. He was incorrigible. He was the most difficult kid I had ever seen in my life, among a group of difficult kids, because they had been left behind and they had been given up on. And nobody was doing anything. Nobody was performing well. The classroom was a mess. The kids were a mess. And here I was, a newly minted teacher, wondering what the heck I was supposed to do. So I then decided to start a sort of a reward system. And this has happened all over the place now. I didn't invent it, I suppose, but I certainly didn't know about it. But I decided to take those desks that were all lined up in rows and put them in clusters. And I assigned kids to clusters. And then I decided that I was going to give them stars. And at the end of the week, the cluster that won the most stars, whether for cleanliness or cooperation or turning in their homework or good work, would win on Friday a trip to McDonald's with me. Not the most healthy reward, but at the time McDonald's was a new thing, and it was a great thing. Anyway, the kids began to respond to that. They really wanted that reward of going to McDonald's. I mean, they weren't getting much of that opportunity otherwise. The problem was that Tyrone, when I assigned him to a table, the kids didn't want him there because he was so disruptive and so untidy and so everything that I was not rewarding, that the table that had Tyrone was never going to get the star. So I moved him around from table to table to table. That was a mistake because he began to realize that he was not wanted at any of these tables. And I had humiliated him, unwittingly, but humiliated him. So then I finally decided to give Tyrone a table all to himself. And I gave him a table that sat right next to the teacher's desk. And I said, Tyrone, you're on your own. You can win this star, your star is all by yourself. But here are the rules. And he followed the rules. And he won, at the end of that first week, he won the lunch with me at McDonald's. Just him and me. He continued to perform. And it wasn't the lunch. It was the recognition. It was the respect for him as an individual and how he learned and how he chose to perform. And he responded. And he began to do so well. It wasn't magical. It was just this kid was respected. He was respected for the first time. Toward the end of the school year, I told Tyrone that I wanted to meet his parents. They had never come to a parent-teacher conference, and I wanted to meet his parents because I wanted them to know how well he had done and how well he responded. And he said, no, I don't want you to meet my parents. I said, I really want to meet them. No. And I said, you know what? On Friday, I'm going to walk you home from school because I want to meet your parents. No, please don't. And I said, I am. I was young, and I was naive, and I insisted. And I walked Tyrone home that Friday. And home was a truck with a dad who fished during the day, and the next day he would sell fish off the back of the truck to make money, and they lived in this truck. I don't know where the mother was. I was so sorry for humiliating him in that way. I made him confront what he was going through with me. And I was in no way prepared to know what to do with that situation. We had failed Tyrone. The schools had failed him, the teachers had failed him, and I failed him until I figured out something. But I have to say that I don't know whatever happened to Tyrone. I wish I could tell you that the end of the story is a happy one, but it was toward the end of the school year. I was reassigned to another broken school in a broken neighborhood with kids who had been not seen and not respected. So I don't know what happened to Tyrone. What Tyrone needed, though, I realized, were adults around him to see him, to respect him, to recognize his needs, and then to help him meet them. It's about respect. And we're here honoring Aretha Franklin, and we know that respect is one of the greatest songs, recorded songs of all time. But about respect, not only was that one of Aretha's most amazing recordings, but she also said about respect this. She said, we all require and want respect, man or woman, black or white, and I'm going to just add, adult or child. And she said of respect, it's our basic human right. And I think that's what distinguishes Boston Academy of Arts, is that it offers respects for its kids in abundance. whatever package they come in, whatever dreams and goals they have, whatever their needs, they are seen and they are respected and they are nurtured and they are nourished. And because of that, Boston Arts Academy's kids soar. And remember I said it's wonderful to see a child soar? It's wonderful what you're doing to allow these children to soar. It's a wonderful sight, and I'm glad to be part of it tonight, and thank you very much for honoring me.
Thank you so much, Diane. Congratulations. Before the mayor, I know he's running out, but I forgot to recognize Juan Cofield, who's the president of the New England Area Conference of the NAACP. And I know President Cofield is still here, but I also want to thank the mayor. We are in Roxbury, and I could tell you that I am so excited for July 2020. Thanks to our mayor, the National NAACP Conference is coming here to Boston. So we want to thank the mayor for that. We want to recognize President Cofield, who's somewhere in the room. And I think they didn't hear me, but certainly we want to thank Rob and Sabrina Williams and the Best Male again for a sponsor. Now our campaign chair, Sean Curran. Oh, yes. Oh, okay.
We'll take a picture?
Yes.
First? Yep.
Okay, Sean, get somebody now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Danilo. So I will take a little bit of personal privilege because I've known Diane Patrick for quite some time. I've known her so long, I could read 12-point print and didn't need glasses. Now I've got 20-point print in my notes. I was reminded by what the mayor just said when he was describing Diane's family and mentioned that her grandfather was the first elected African-American in Brooklyn. And I was reminded of another member of your family who I loved and was a character, Pops, your dad. I can tell a really quick, funny story. Pops was an insatiable flirt, but he would flirt in an old-fashioned way. And my wife and I were out in Western Mass with the governor and the first lady at an event, and Pops was in the kitchen, and my wife came in, and Pops said, "Hello, young lady, I'd like to take you for an ice cream." So we lost Pops a couple of years ago, but he was a wonderful guy and Navy veteran and a real character. So for those of you who don't know, my connection to the Patrick family is I served as the finance chairman for the governor for a number of years during his tenure. And I was mentioning to Diane at the beginning here that one thing I have to thank her for is her grace and her patience with me. Because at least once a month, mostly on a school night, I was dragging 8 to 10 strangers through her house for fundraising dinners. And it disturbed the peace. They were boisterous, loud, hungry, but mostly thirsty. And I want to thank you very much for putting up with us. I'm surprised you're still talking to any of us. Our show this evening is titled Respect Her, and it is fitting that you're our civic nominee because this Commonwealth respects you so much. Aside from your many accomplishments that were detailed, the thing that was great about you as First Lady is the depth of your humanity and the way that you approached that job. The many things that you gave voice to in your own life, the struggles that you'd had, gave enormous comfort to a lot of people in this Commonwealth. And I think that's your lasting impact, and that's going to be your lasting legacy. And so you are my forever First Lady in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I think you'd make a great First Lady of the United States of America. To our mayor, who I'm not sure if he was able to stick around, but for our mayor, I want to say something about our mayor. Our ability to rise as an organization has been in direct proportion to how much he has been able to lift us. It is rare to see leadership around something like this, and I can't tell you how much we have counted on him and how many times he has stood the test to stand with us and help us create this incredible environment that we've got for the young people we serve. So, apparently I don't have to make a really hard ask tonight because our friend Pam Reeve has stepped up in some way. I'll find out later. But I want to talk to you about our students. Our students are the young people who wake up every single day with the arts on their minds and in their hearts. Boston Arts Academy is for the talented students who can't imagine a day without dancing, painting, drawing, designing, doing any of the things that we have as disciplines within the Boston Arts Academy. And the community of our students, the community that our students and staff have created is incredibly diverse, it's inclusive, it's loving, it's just, and it's like a family. And for many of them, that's an important element because artistic kids that are in their neighborhoods are not always welcome. And so to be with a community of other artists, other people that care about the arts, is enormously important. As a foundation board, we feel enormously privileged to be a part of that. It's fuel for us. Boston Arts Academy Foundation, which I am a part of, I'm a board member, chair of the governance board, and the co-chair of the campaign, raises the necessary funds for the school to produce amazing performances like the one you're about to see. Now, for those of you who are experiencing this student work for the first time, you are in for a treat, because the virtuosity and the passion and the energy you're about to see on stage is going to make you forget that these are high school kids, because they are classically trained in the various disciplines. So you're going to see it from the boards of the stage, the voices that you hear raised, the dancers that you see, the lighting that you see, and the set design. That is all Boston Arts Academy students, and it's going to be an amazing thing. So after this performance, I hope each of you will get involved in Boston Arts Academy in some material way. Our foundation staff will be around to answer any questions you might have. And of course, if you are so inclined, they will help you make a donation to our organization. Your financial support helps us close the opportunity gap for Boston's most talented students. The BAA's Building Our Future campaign is a 5-year, $30 million comprehensive campaign to augment the school budget with funds for the arts and builds our long-term sustainability. And to date, and I will welcome the applause for our team, to date, we have raised over $7.5 million. Now, there is a sense of urgency around this for us because in 2021, we're going to open the doors on a brand new, state-of-the-art, top in the country arts high school. And so we need your help right now. To borrow a phrase from Diane's husband, we need you to take a stake in the hopes and dreams of these young people. Our audacious goals are worthy of our great students and is worthy of our great city. And so I encourage each and every single one of you to look at the performance tonight and recognize that what we're producing in Boston is some of the most talented people that the country will ever see. And we can all be a part of that in a meaningful way. So I encourage you this evening to give as much as you can to help support us in this effort. I thank you and enjoy the evening.